Welcome back, guys. You know what time it is. It's time for another pickups video. So this time around, I was on OfferUp again, and I found somebody that was trying to get rid of their Nintendo DS games. They said roughly about 80 games, so hopefully there's 80 games in there. And I had it shipped to me. So it took me a while to get because, you know, I sent in an offer and that didn't come through and all this crap came up. Long story short, like post office was getting messed up, so the order got canceled and I gotta redo it again, blah blah blah. All in all, I probably paid more than I should have, but I paid 150 bucks for supposedly 80 games in here, so hopefully I get 80 games. That makes it about like, you know, about less than $2 a piece. Because I don't have too much DS games to start off with, so why not beef up the collection, you know? So without further ado, let's break open this box. So, I got this big old box right here. Got it to me in the mail. I was hoping I would get this in time because I'm supposed to be leaving town and I don't want them to just drop it off right in front of the door and somebody steals it. But luckily this fit into the mailbox lockbox, so it came on time on top of that, so I didn't have to worry as much. So anyways, I got my golden scissors, which I'm going to use to break it open, you know. The golden stuff, that's what I like. I think I didn't even know about Animal Crossing and I was already into getting like golden tools. Alright, well, I've got a bunch of games in this big old box. So, not sure if you can see that, but we're gonna start off like I always do. Just pick and pull, look at it, talk about it, and see what kind of good deal that I got. So, sit tight and enjoy. First game's up. Touchmaster. Do I have this game? I'm thinking I do, but I don't know. Nah, it doesn't show that I have the game. So, these are complete in box. They're all in there. And apparently this is like another one of those, you know, multi-game games. There's a lot of these games on DS. So it has like Mahjong. I don't even know half of these games. Like Phoenix 13, Crystal Ball. So it's like a puzzle card game. Blah blah blah. Bunch of other stuff you can get. I've seen it around. It's not an expensive game, but you know, maybe one day I'm bored as hell and I bust out my DS. I'll jump on it. So, hey, look. Next game's up is actually Touchmaster 2. I didn't even know they made a part 2 to this game. So this is 20 games. This one is 23 games. So at this point, they ran out of games to put in. But complete in box as well. Good condition. Very good condition. I don't know any of these games in here either. Like for example, besides bowling, there's other games like Speed Demon, Catacombs, Dice Kings, Triples. I don't know what that is, but they're probably just games people created to pass time. You know, that's what we do. So let's move on to the next one because I got a lot of games to cover. Grovyle. That's the next game. Grovyle is... I always thought it was just a roller coaster game, but I guess it has a bunch of other things in it. Didn't I talk about this game before? I always forget. But it does have to do with like creating roller coasters and stuff like that. I guess it's almost like a theme park game. Yeah, because I picked up this game on another system, but I don't know what. But never really, you know, got my attention. I'm not a really big like sim game or anything like that. So let's just give you a heads up. This is like from a kid's you know, collection. So I guess the mom was just trying to get rid of all that crap. So it's going to be a lot of kids games, which I don't mind because, you know, if you want to play like multiplayer and, you know, couch co-op type of stuff, you could play these a lot. So there's Uno. I do like a good game of Uno. I guess it comes with Skip Bow, Uno Free Fall, which looks like a Tetris type of Uno game. But regular Uno is always fun, even though I prefer to play with the cards. They do have this new Uno game called Uno Deuces. That one is cheap as hell. Like, it takes, I mean, you could be winning in that game, and all I gotta do is flip the cards on you because there's a reverse card. And if you flip that, that could change the whole game. So it's like, it's hard to play. But I guess it makes it more interesting. Next up is Quest Trio. So this does look like another one of those, you know, puzzle and mini game type of game. So this is like a 3-in-1 game. So there's Jewels in there, Jewels Quest and Mahjong Quest. Complete in box in perfect condition. Man, I mean, I guess the mom didn't want to buy any rated teen games or rated mature games on the DS. So she opted for a lot of these type of games right here. See, I think I got this game too, but I'm not sure. But the next game up is Clubhouse Games. These came out during the time when I was working at a game store. So these are pretty early on in the generation. Clubhouse game, I remember playing this a little bit. These are more games that I was familiar with, like chess and checkers and, you know, solitary and all that stuff. Complete in box. One thing about Nintendo was, man, their instruction booklets were like thick. So good to have this in my collection because I would stare at this at the game store back in the days, and at that time I wasn't into a DS, so it's kind of like I'm building my own game store, a little time capsule right here. So anyways, next game up. This is another 4-game pack, multi-pack. I mean, I'm telling you, the whole box has a lot to do with these type of games, which I don't mind. I mean, I'm getting it all in one whole set. So I'm like, all right, cool. That way I get these out the way and I can spend time to collect like other games I want. So it's fine. Like I said, I don't know much about these. There's 4 games. One is Clue. The other one is Mousetrap. One is Perfection and Aggravation. All I know is Clue, which I played on the board game, which is pretty fun. I like those type of games where you gotta use your mind to like figure stuff out. So good stuff. Next game up, Atlas game. I think this might be, I don't know, Atlas makes rare games, but I don't know if this one is worth anything. But this is supposed to be 101 in 1. So 101 games? Yeah, 101 different games in there. And this one looks promising. Maybe because I just trust the Japanese when they come to making certain games. So also complete in box. I definitely would pick this up just to see what it has in there. So yeah, I welcome any Atlas game in my collection. Good stuff. Let's pull up the next one. I'm like, what the heck? I just saw this game. So I pulled this game up. This is Clubhouse Games again. I'm not sure what's the difference between this one and that one though, but it's both. I think it's the same thing. Maybe this person had like 2 DSs and they were playing each other, or maybe this is the greatest hits version. I don't know. Like this one just has that label that says 42 classic games, so I'm not sure about that. It's complete in box, a little dusty, but that's fine. I'd rather have dust than to have snot and grime all over the cases, which happens quite often. You guys know that if you guys are game collectors. So anyways, next one up is Henry Hatsworth. I do remember seeing this at the game store as well. Never really caught my eye, but it seems like it's another one of these puzzle platforming games. I don't know much about it. If any of you guys know any of these games that I put up here, let me know which ones are actually good, you know. So let's move on to the next. Another game I've seen on all the time. Right here. 1 versus 100. Apparently this is a show game. You know, like one of those Jeopardies and stuff like that. Isn't that Bob Saget in the front? Yeah. So I wasn't familiar with the show, so I don't really know much about it. I guess it's like 1 versus 100 people, and if you're one of the 100 people to win, you win the grand prize. I don't know. So, like I said, I always see that in the stores too. And I know I got this game, Brain Age. Well, I think I got Brain Age 2. Well, anyways, I see both of them, so I'm gonna grab both of them anyways. So I got Brain Age 1 and 2. So you see on my old DS pickup, I talked about these. These were pretty much like games that first came out on the DS. And what else is there to say? You know, I played these on demos. They were mostly demo games when you go in the GameStop and stuff like that. So, but they were fun games though. Like, these actually challenged your mind. Unfortunately, mine always came up to like, oh, your brain is like old as hell. You know, you got a 60-year-old brain or whatever. But I don't know if that's good or bad. But anyways, good to have. I'd love to have these in my collection, so that works out. I know I have one of these games already, so maybe I'll just, you know, bundle that out. Let's grab the next game. Next game is Pinball Dream. So wait, I forgot to open these up. Make sure the game. Yep, everything's in there. Like, this is in immaculate condition. Like, superb condition. That's more than I can ask for. So anyways, Pinball Dream. It's pretty much a pinball game. It has like a bunch of different levels you can play. I haven't really played any pinball games since forever. When we used to go to like Pier 39 in San Francisco, and they had a bunch of pinball games when I was a kid. So game is in there. It's kind of loose, but pop it back in. I always say, like, if the game comes out loose, or you can put it back in easy, it's the game that the kid played the most. So yeah, if you're a parent, you know, you got, well, I don't know if that counts now on how the games boxes are, but if you're a parent, just look at all their games and see which one comes in and out faster. You'll kind of know what type of game they like to play. Or you could ask them, but if you're trying to surprise them, then, you know, that's what you should do. Anyways, next up. Oh my god, this person has like the whole set of everything. So Touchmaster apparently made another game, which is Touchmaster 3, with another 20 games on top of that. So here we go. Look, 1, 2, and 3. I got the whole collection. So it's another 20 games that I don't know about, except there's a game that looks like Hexic up in there, which I don't think it is because that's a Microsoft game. So other than that, it's a lot of puzzle games. Alright, anyways, this one is in superb condition as well. Everything looks great. There is a little minor ding on the box, but that doesn't bother me as much as it would have if I was like 18. So, because now I'm more like just trying to get volumes and stuff. Here's a game right here that I definitely welcome. Oops. Dungeon Explorer, Warriors of Ancient Arts. So I always wanted to pick up this game back when I was working at the store, but I just didn't really pick up a lot of DS games. So this is made by Hudson Soft, and you know, they're known for making Bloody Roar and all that stuff. So this is a dungeon crawler game. It looks pretty damn good. Dungeon RPG crawler, you know, level up, grab items and all that. So this definitely looks like a pretty good game. It's a Japanese made game, and I do lean into those games more than others. So I'm glad to have that in my collection. So let's keep on moving. Let's move it. Alright, Puzzle Quest 2. Another game I always see on like every peripheral, and you'll always see this in the bargain bin, or, you know, because nobody really picks it up. Because you could play these games on like Facebook or on your phone and stuff like that, so it's like there was really no reason to buy these games. But if you got kids, that's a different story. So, Puzzle Quest 2. It's one of those, match the gems and destroy it and all that stuff. But this one gives it like more of a RPG twist to it. So, not sure if you can see that from here, but yeah, another puzzle game. Anyways, stack is getting tall, so I should start a new stack. So, we'll keep on moving. Next game up is Polar Bowler. I had never heard of this game in my life. So apparently it is a bowling game which involves polar bears. And looking at the back setting, there's only one screenshot in there that shows like, the polar bear is kind of like bowling on ice, trying to get a turkey. So, complete in box as well. Can't tell you much about the game, but I don't mind. It's a Nintendo game. Most of these games you can't even find anymore, so it's like, let alone like complete in box, because most of the times when people sell their DS games, it's always out of the box. Always. So to grab a whole box of games that were complete and in pristine condition, shoot. What can I say? Night at the Museum, never saw the movie, heard it was a decent movie, and they made a game out of it. I've seen the game before, but I've never played it. This game has Ben Stiller in there. That's pretty much their selling point. Looks like a platform game with puzzles. That seems to be the genre that we're looking at right now anyways through all these games, so I wouldn't expect any less. So, I got that. Why not? We'll keep on moving. Got a lot of games. Oh, check it out. I even got a Pokemon card that came with it. Staryu! That's funny. Yep. Damn, I haven't picked up a Pokemon card in probably 13 years or more. So, it's kind of funny. It seems so small in my hand now. Like back in the days, this, seemed a little bigger. So that's how you know I haven't picked one of these up in a while. So yeah, Staryu. It's got the bitch slap move that you could do to someone. I don't understand how this star can slap somebody, but it's there. Alright, leave it up to your imagination. Next game up is, a team game finally. James Patterson's Women's Murder Club. I don't know why you would let your kids play a murder mystery, but that's fine. Eventually you gotta grow up to it. So I guess it's more like a CSI game. Apparently this is set in the Bay Area because it's got the Golden Gate Bridge in there. So I welcome that. That brings me back home. Alright, complete in box, and like I said, it's probably a point and click game because I played a couple of CSI games for Xbox, and it's a point and click game. So next up, kind of funny that we were just talking about it, CSI Dark Motives. I guess this time the kid's starting to grow up and he's graduating. He's starting to play these teen games, man. He's like, I'm done with the puzzle games, so let's move me up. Mom's like, alright, we need some CSI stuff right here, test out your detective skills. So, like I said, this is a point and click game. You gotta pretty much click everything. So this game relies on the stylus, one of those few games that do. Well, most of the games do, but you rely on the stylus more into finding stuff, using your tools and all that. Complete in box. They could be fun games. I played a couple of them. It's almost like watching an episode of CSI, except you're more interactive with it. So, it's not bad. Not a bad game at all. Next game up, another game that's like one of these launch titles, which is Flash Focus. Seeing this at the game store all the time. I doubt the person even played this because it really didn't have a lot of good games on there. It had like sports games and stuff like that. So, it's complete in box, and I'm telling you, I know this game. Look how tight this thing is. I can't even pull it out. So, the instruction manual looks like it's never been read. So you could tell. You could always tell, from playing all these CSI games right here. You could tell the kid never touched this game. But it's in my collection now. And it'll probably never be touched either. So, next game up is, what do you know? 50 classic games. I always wonder how the hell did DS have so many of these like bundled up game collections? Because like most of them have the same games in there, like chess, you know, checkers, mahjong and all that. Well, mahjong solitary. I doubt there's any real mahjong games in there. So, complete, as I would expect. And yeah, one of those games again. So, like I said, if any of these games pop out and are actually good, let me know. Next game up, let's move it up to PDC World Championship Darts. So this is solely a dart game, and I don't even know how you would utilize DS to play this game and how you can make a full game off of darts. But, you know, because I'm used to just playing darts on Grand Theft Auto or some type of game that's a side game, you know, inside a game. So for you to actually fit a whole darts game into this and then proceed to sell this for, I don't know, $29.99 or whatever, maybe this was in the bargain bin for $5. So it's in my bin now for $2. So it worked out. Next game up, we got Solitaire Overload. Now, this game's feeling kind of light, but they just didn't do much with the instruction manual, but the game's in there, good condition. I guess there's 101 games in there. How do you have so much games to put in? Because like most of them are probably like the same games over and over again. So anyways, it's got Solitaire, it's got Klondike, which I don't know what the hell that is, but I do know what the ice cream bar is though. Golf, Pyramid, and blah blah blah. Free Cell, I remember that on Windows 95 computers. So yeah, imagine having a Windows 95 computer set of games on the DS, and that's what you would get. Next game up is, this will complete my collection. Well, not complete it, but add to it, because I have the My Chinese code, so we get my word in there. So that's a double. So hopefully I get a couple more of those in there. So I'm happy to have that. These are, like I said before, pretty good games. So definitely helps the kids out with their vocabulary. So why not? I doubt the game really played it that much. I mean, I doubt the kid really played it that much, but you know, it's worth a try. Next game up is Battle of the Giants, Dragons. Battle of Giants Dragons. That's what it's called. This game is really thick in there. Woo! That's why. Look at that. A whole set of brand new sealed cards, which I have no idea Ubisoft even had a card game for this, but it's in there. It's complete. Never heard of the game, but kind of looks like Panzer Dragon, but you're fighting instead of flying. So I don't know. It could be good, it could be bad. I don't know. So we'll move on to the next game. Check it out. This game is still sealed. I guess this is, okay, it's a puzzle game. It's called Photo Frenzy Spot the Difference. I can see why the kid didn't open this up. And I don't even know, did the person really pay $19.99 for this game? But all you're supposed to do is look at two separate pictures and see what the difference is, and then click it. And I wouldn't pick this game up either, because you know it's a game you can actually play on the web. It's getting a little dusty, but I don't know. I can't say much about that game. Here it is. I got another one of these Jewel games, Jewel puzzle, but this one is like the original, if I remember correctly. Bejeweled is like the pioneer of the Jewel Quest games. So this one comes with a little sleeve. I do like that. It's complete in the box. It feels extra fresh and new, so probably another game that hasn't been played. I mean, as a kid, if I was a kid and I had to play puzzle games all day, I'd go out of my mind. Maybe this kid is a genius, you know? Maybe this kid is like, you know, the kid from Death Note, L or Nier, just playing puzzles all day, and now he's like solving fucking mysteries for the world and stuff. So I don't know, maybe they was breeding up to be one of those guys.
You know what? It's fine. Nier should be the one to succeed L. He's not like me. He never gets emotional. He just uses his head like it's a game or a puzzle.
Move on to the next. Here it is, another one. This is the Puzzle Quest. So this is the next game up from the Bejeweled. Similar games. I'm not even gonna bother to continue talking about it. It's like a lot of times I do these games and just slap a different, you know, cover on there with different characters and blah blah blah. So yeah. Well, this one's made by D3. So I guess this is like the Japanese version. You know, because D3 made a bunch of like Japanese. Well, they publish a lot of Japanese games. So I don't know. Anyways, next game up. Master Jin Jins Challenge. So this is an IQ game for sure. 300 fun intelligence teasers. Intuition and reasoning, observation, blah blah blah. So yeah, I think person was trying to read himself the world's greatest detective by getting all these games for him, because I've never ever seen a kid with this much puzzle / reasoning and, you know, all this type of mental stimulation games. Oh, finally, something to finally give me some breathing air. M&M's kart racing. See, finally, I bet you he played this more than anything, because this is definitely a different game from what these were. Aside from that dungeon crawler game in there. But, you know, this is pretty much Mario Kart clone. Pretty much every franchise has made one of these. Sonic, you know, Crash, you name it. So, nothing much to say about those games. But, let's keep on going. Here we go. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Stanga Casino. Now we're moving on up. This is big boy stuff right here. This is how you teach your kids how to gamble. So, complete in box. This game is pretty much like you can play slot machines, you can play, you know, like you're playing with wagers. So, this is different. Definitely a step up from these card games. Playing with the big boys now. So I like that. And it's a Sega game. I never even heard of this game, but it's Sega. So I will take that for sure. Anyways, I'm grabbing another Best of Test DS. I feel like somebody just made this in their home and printed out the label and just threw it on there. So, it's another IQ game. It's still sealed. So I'm thinking at this point, the kid's like, well, you know, the mom's like, hey son, I got you a new game. The kid's like, man, I'm so sick of these test games. I'm done. I want to play Grand Theft Auto. I want to play some fucking Max Payne, you know? But, nope. We can't have you doing that, son. You're gonna be Sherlock Holmes one day. And we can't have you playing Grand Theft Auto. That's just gonna make you lose brain cells. So, then they proceeded to get them more kiddie games. So next coming up, Squee Balls. I thought it was called Squeeze Balls. And I'm like, the fuck. Anyway, Squee Balls Party. I have never heard of this game. It's definitely different from the other set of games. So because it is a party game, you play with multiple characters and, you know, you compete. So So it looks cool. 70 games, man. Like, I think like, I'm telling you, I think the mom was like, I'm gonna get the best deal that I'm gonna get, you know, for my kid. And so in order to get the best deal, it's like she'll buy all the games. That's like, oh, 70 games in one, that's a good ass deal. 300 games, damn, you know, that's gonna last them forever, you know. But what you don't understand is 95% of those games in the 301s are shitty games. So you're really not doing much. Whereas if you spent the $50 and bought them like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon or whatever, that would last them way longer than these games. So in the end, you probably spent more money buying these games, trying to keep them good, than to just buy 3 good ass Mario games or something like that. But here it is. Let's move on because I still got a decent amount up in here. Alright, Power Play Pool. Here it is. So I'm guessing when I'm getting to the bottom now, I'm getting into a little bit more interesting games. So I like playing pool. I'm not the best pool player, but I spent most of my teenage years playing at the pool hall, trying to get good. From what I see, there's like snooker ball in the back, and I guess it has all the other ones, tournament style. So I'd rather play it in person. Why'd I do that? I'd rather play it in person, but these games actually do kind of help if they're like good. If it's a good pool game that relies on you know, real mathematics and all that stuff, you can actually, by playing these, you would actually, you know, convert your real play. You're like, oh, you know, if I bank it at that area, it should, you know, hit the ball into this spot, and it could get your accuracy a little better. But most people aren't looking to do that. They rather just practice on their own. So anyways, next game up, Jeopardy. So I got another, this is one of those quiz, you know, games. Complete in box. So we all know what Jeopardy is. You answer a bunch of trivia questions, and which for me, I wouldn't be able to do most of these. Like, I don't know jack squat about sports and all that, so if they had that feature, I wouldn't be able to do it. Television, I don't watch TV like that, so I can't do a lot of that stuff, but it's all right, you know. I hear they could be pretty fun. Here's actually a trivia game. This is it right here. Are you smarter than a 5th grader? I remember this trivia game, and I actually played this at work back then. I was bored and I popped this into the DS, and it was actually pretty fun. Like, you got to learn a decent amount about this because they're asking you questions that is not 5th grader knowledge, which is funny. So it was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty fun compared to the other quiz games. But man, it's been 13 years since I even picked one of these games up, so I don't remember the whole contents of it, but it's cool. Next up, a Konami game. That's what I'm talking about. Track and Field, the new international track and field. So I definitely welcome a Konami game. So this already automatically looks more interesting than the other stuff I picked up, just because. And it has like a bunch of events like weightlifting, you know, swimming, bike racing, you know, running and all that. Very thick instruction manuals. But I wish Nintendo continued to do this stuff. For a Switch box to be so empty, it's just, why even make the box this big when you're putting that little thing in there and not having an instruction manual? So, but yeah, this is probably one of the 2 best games I got in this box. So we're doing more quantity over quality over here. Anyways, next game up is 100 all-time favorites. So another, you know what, puzzle game collection. This one has pool in there. Sudoku and all that stuff. So, I mean, like I said, it's like how many all-in-one games that have the same games in there can you buy for your kid? Unless, I don't know, maybe like the person got it for free or something. Maybe they knew a game rep that got a bunch of these games and gave it to them. I don't know. So anyways, here it is. We've got a Sega game. And I noticed this is like the only game that has a GameStop sticker in there. So I'm figuring that a lot of these games were like bargain bin items. Unless they bought them all brand new. So this is Mystery Dungeon Sharon the Wanderer. And it looks like a classic RPG Final Fantasy style. So hell yeah, hell to the yes for this, because it's from the creators of Mystery Dungeon too. So Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. So like of all the games over here, this would probably be the one game I would definitely pick up and play. Cause you know it's a Sega game, it's an RPG game, you know, and this one might be worth a little bit. So good stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, next up is Six Flags Fun Park. I guess there's another theme park game here. So, God, this dust is killing me. Anyways, this one man, that's funny. This one has a Six Flag Park admission inside. Well, I wonder if they used it or not. Let's see if it's in there. Nope, they went to Six Flags. Yep. Anyways, so this one pretty much is a carnival game. Bumper cars, you know. The graphics are horrible. I can't tell you much, but there's 40 mini games in there. So if you've been to a circus and carnival, all that stuff, you probably find the same games there. Alright, next game up is Classic Word Games. Alright. So this one, actually, I would probably play word games more than these puzzle games, because I like word games. Because it has like Hangman up in there and stuff. You know, crossword puzzles. Find words in the game, in the box. But yeah, so this is probably the most different one, because it doesn't have all the solitary and all those board games in there. Here's another one. Are you smarter than a 5th grader? This is actually the one that I played, not the other one, because I remember the green box. So, you know what it is. You answer questions, you learn something new, so next time you come back to it, you're gonna beat it because you know the answer, and if you don't remember the answer, then I don't know what to say. So, next game up is, what the hell? It's like a generic ass game. Is this even real? It's called Snood 2 on Vacation. Apparently they made a 1 as well. So this looks like a super bootleg generic game. But at the same time, like the game looks like Puzzle Bobble or something like that. Like, you know, they got all these things coming down and you're shooting it. I would never pick this game up, even if it was for $1, but whatever. Alright, we're getting to some pretty interesting stuff. So we got Sudoku. I can never understand Sudoku. That stuff just makes my head spin. But this is a solid game of Sudoku. Like, it has nothing else in there but Sudoku. So, yeah. I mean, some people love this game. Like, I see people jam out on this type of stuff all the time. I won't say where, but I've seen people like solving these all day. And I'm like, what the hell? So, let's keep on moving, because I only got a couple games left. So next game up is, I can open this up. Yep, it's in there. So back at the Barnyard Slop Bucket Games. So this is another one of those set of games, but this actually looks more fun because it's not your, run-of-the-mill board game, checker game stuff. It's actually like games they created. So I see one that's called Chicken Launch, Flag Defender, Whack a Rack, or Whack a Raccoon, basically. You know, shooting chickens and stuff. So it's like a carnival game, but it definitely looks a lot better. THQ makes the game too. Okay, let's keep going. Ooh, I remember this game. This game was always on the shelves as well. So it's another mystery game, you know? It's in there. It's Mystery Case Files Millionaire. I guess you're solving some murder case or something like that. I don't know. But like I said, I always seen this on the shelves, but it never really stood out to me. But it's another clue game, basically. Alright, I got a couple more left. Next game we have is Sudoku Ball. So it's like, at this point, person's like, you already got me Sudoku, so why you get me another Sudoku game for? You know, like there's no difference. So this one's just a different Sudoku game. It's called Sudoku Ball Detective. So apparently like you're solving Sudoku in like a round sphere. So it's like a little spin on Sudoku, but like I said, I wouldn't open it either. So yeah. Couple sealed games in there, so which is cool. Alright, now we move up. We just moved up to Poptropica. I don't know what this is, but it's a 3DS game. So that'll beef up my 3DS collection because I only got like 2 games on there. But I don't know anything about this. This is like a very generic platformer game. Looks like Dora the Explorer. Alright. Yeah, I couldn't tell you anything about these games. So I got one more. Another sealed game. This one's made by Activision. It's called Moshi Monsters Katsuma Unleashed. It's still semi-sealed. This looks like a Mario type of platformer. So I guess it's a little bit more better than some of the other stuff I had. But by the time a 3DS came out, come on, kids all grown up. You don't want to play that stuff anymore. So here it is. This is the final piece. What? I don't know what this is. Alright, that's just what you gonna call it? What's it called? That's just a bunch of paper in there. So let's count the games. Probably not the most exciting find that I had, but it's I guess it's interesting because I got a bunch of DS games for $2 a piece. Well, let me see if it's actually 80 games. I seriously doubt it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not 80 games. It's about 52. So instead, I paid like $3 and something for each game. So maybe I got ripped off. But whatever. You know, I've got plenty of cheap games on there that, you know, I've got from others pickups. So, like I said, not the most exciting set of games, but you know what? I don't have much DS games, so it's fine. Anyways, so that should be it, but I do have another pickups coming up because that's gonna be like the month of games I picked up that, you know, the stuff that I want and all that. So yeah, picked all these games up for $150. Well, technically it was for like $120 something, but I paid like shipping and all that. So if you like what you see, like and subscribe so I can put some more videos up, and we will see you the next time. Thank you for watching. This is Gat Cognac signing out. Laters.